Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of VOD of Consciousness, because today we are playing Highway to the Moon, a game that I helped make. By helped make, I mean I wrote a lot of the engine code and did some of the sprite work. We're going to just play through a campaign. We're going to use our standard Jake Hellaway. So we have a couple of different versions. These are the different starting vehicles that you have. You have your standard Jake Hellaway, which is kind of your sort of balance thing. I have Angry Alexander unlocked and Leader Yellow. You can unlock a lot of different characters with different properties. This guy, for example, has a different setup with his super attack, which we'll see what that is later. I'm just going to play the standard Jake Hellaway. This is one that I'm familiar with playing the most. These guys have other options, but I didn't really play them as much. We can use the default weapon, the Jake's gun weapon, the Alien Affairs Special, then there's the double machine gun, the grenade launcher, the shotgun. We can change our default weapon, what weapon we start with. You can have a lot of fun with this. Some of the weapons are very, very, very strong as default weapons. Some of the ones that weren't designed to be default weapons per se. But we thought it'd be a lot of fun to have a lot of different stuff unlocked. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and go with the Alien Affairs Special. And so these are a bunch of options that you can turn on. You can unlock more through getting achievements. We have a bunch of different achievements. I've unlocked some and not all of them. Each achievement unlocks something. For example, entering a level unlocks it in the character or in the level select. There's a bunch of stats that we track. I'm not going to drop into that right now. But you can do things like half shields, -2 starting batteries, which batteries are extra lives, basically. And all an extra life does is it means that you respawn right there instead of at the previous checkpoint. Unfortunately, checkpoints are a little glitchy, and sorry about that. You can have more shields, Merciful Ultracharge. Ultracharge is a powerful thing that can happen. But we're going to jump right into Route 767 Lunar Skyway. I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, by the way. It does support a controller, but I much prefer the keyboard and mouse controls. So what we see right off the bat is we see there's text bubbles. You can destroy text bubbles. They can drop weapon power-ups. So once I'll try not to destroy them, but once you've kind of played through the game and you know the story, you want to blow them up because they have good loot inside. We also have this, the phase shifting capability. So phase shifting, you can't pick up stuff. Now power-ups suction onto you. So you can pick them up, but each weapon, by the way, has 2 fire modes. It has, well, from my perspective, it's left click and right click. But your standard and your super shot. I missed the shot or the double machine gun because I am trying to talk and play. I want this one. Cool. So we have ammo down here. You can see it in the lower right, and then you can see the super meter. This thing super does these. I'm not really going to be able to defeat him right now. That's not what the game's designed for. But you can go over gaps in the road in this mode. If you're not doing that, you fall off the road and lose a big chunk of health and pop back on. So she's asking me about my phase shifter, which is this thing. If you haven't used it at this point, then sure, I'll get a shotgun. Then she will, in fact, tell you, push this button to phase shift. One of the other mechanics that we have in this game is passive charge. So you can see this little bar at the top and also next to my weapon. That will fill up over time, and it kind of adjusts the properties of how my gun shoots. So, for example, the shotgun has a spread based upon that. So one of the other things is, okay, so I just got some overcharge, which gave me that extra health meter. You'll lose all of that if you fall off the road, but that extra health, I mean, it'll absorb more hits for you, so that's really nice. And you get that by collecting the yellow points. So I drew that that blue sprite ball there. I actually drew the trucks as well. Not the dudes on it, but I drew the trucks. And did I do the helicopter? I don't remember. I don't remember what things I did for art. I did all the power-up art. I know that. There's actually some interesting issues with the timing of when we did stuff. This character's name is Angry Alexander. He's inspired by Mad Max. Sorry, you guys can read the plot on your own. I am so familiar with it. I'm just taking the effort to not blow it up with the potential for sweet power-ups, like boss weapons. The only way to get... So, once you beat a boss, its weapon can start dropping as a power-up, but only from dialogue bubbles. It doesn't normally drop otherwise. Ah, completely whiffed that super. Oh, I have Ultra Charge. I had it for a moment there. Ultra Charge gives you unlimited ammo. It does not make you invulnerable, but it gives you unlimited ammo and unlimited phase and much faster recharge time. So it's extremely powerful. You get it when you would get Overcharge, but have full Overcharge. So if you have full gold health, and then you get an Overcharge packet, you instead get Ultra Charge. And basically, we wanted everything to have a purpose in this game. Probably a little overkill to some extent, but... okay. I think we're coming up to the optional boss fight. So each level has kind of a mid-boss. This guy wants us to stand down. This is an optional fight. We can stand down. If we don't attack, he won't attack either and he'll leave. And that actually branches the entire story of the game, but I'm going to show you the generic plot, so that way you go out and buy the game. It's not very expensive. And see the plot for yourself. I'm told that this game is harder than it is if you're experienced, so that's good. Although it probably means we balance stuff poorly. Because if you know what you're doing... it makes the game a lot easier. This guy uses a lot of missiles, and he's kind of weak to the shotgun, actually, in that respect. Because you can use the shotgun to blow up his missiles. Actually, there's one other spot where you can get boss weapons. The bosses themselves drop them. So I just got the missile launcher, which is this guy's weapon. And Silver Hero will be like, hey, you made it. I actually drew her sprite. Jake's sprite down here was done by an artist that worked with us for a while, but I ended up drawing her sprite. I also ended up drawing the main villain and these things too. Yeah, okay, so this is where you get to see how ridiculous Ultra Charge is. Unfortunately, there's no enemies on screen to kill to get more points. Getting points while you have Ultra Charge extends Ultra Charge. But if there's no enemies on screen, obviously that doesn't work. You hear the little warning chime of me running low on phase there. Oh, now we can do something about everything. Whee! This just gets ridiculous. Especially if you have a homing missile launcher and Ultra Charge. Then you can just batter the entire screen with all the guns. Let's just take a screenshot there. That seemed like a good time to take a screenshot. This part's a little bit more exciting if... I mean, this is the first level, right? We wanted to try to ease you into it some. Oh, I just got a 1-up. You get a 1-up by getting enough points. There are 1-up power-ups. They're pretty rare. You can sometimes get them from dialogue bubbles. Look, the whole point of this game is to destroy the plot so you can get sweet power-ups, okay? Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and get the grenade launcher. You know what? Why not? It is also absolutely ridiculous with Ultra Charge, as everything is. I don't think there's a weapon that's bad with Ultra Charge. Because Ultra Charge is just so ridiculous. Unfortunately, I think we're about to hit some dialogue and it's gonna run out. Yep. We're after the Moonbike, who dusted us at the beginning. Fired a few shots at us. Alex there is angry as his name. Inspired by Mad Max, as you might guess. Internally, he was called Mad Max, which led us to making some very poor visual design decisions on some of these things. These are retroactively AAs. Is all I'm going to say about that. Okay, time for an end of level boss fight. Fortunately, I have a little bit of Ultra Charge coming into this, so I was able to get a good chunk of health off right at the start. Ah, something is loading. Occasionally get hitching like that. I shouldn't be using that many supers. So one of the mechanics is if you run out of ammo, you go back to your default gun, which is why changing the default gun to another gun can be very powerful. If you do pick up an ammo power-up, it completely refills your ammo, and it will do so for Oh, right, next phase. Already forgetting how this thing works. It will restore your weapon, so if you run out of ammo and you pick up an ammo power-up, and you were on your default gun, it will restore the previous gun that you had. So, I would like to not be hit by the giant. Those textures are probably getting a little overstretched, I'll admit. I think this game has a lot of heart. There is certainly a lot of room that it had for improvement, but I'm overall quite happy with a lot of the design of the game. Overall. We're always kind of critical of our own art, right? Okay. Good, I don't need that. Do I have... No, I don't quite have max phase yet. You can get a maximum of 200% phase. There's phase restore power-ups that also increase your maximum phase. So they restore a chunk and increase your maximum phase. I am losing a lot of health here, which is not good. Whoa, don't want to be in that. Your phase takes a moment to really start going up, so... Yes, I know my shielding is low, thanks. I have 4 lives, so it's not the biggest deal. And I should probably be getting an extra life after this. I prefer not to lose a life, though. That would cost me my extra phase. Sure. Oh, I just died. So when you die, you lose your extra weapon, so if I got an ammo power-up now, I would not get it. Yes, I destroyed the no. The no explodes into points. Okay, that's level 1. You know, reasonable time. A lot of the levels are around that long. Okay, atmospheric war games. We got some tips down here at the bottom. If you gain enough bonus shields from collecting points, you'll go into Ultra Charge mode. Well, let's click to begin. Flying Fortress? Gotta remember not to shoot dialogue, though. So narratively, we have moved on from fighting Angry Alex's group to fighting a sort of military group. Which is perhaps a bit questionable, but here we are. I need some health pickups. As you might guess are green. Someone doesn't like me being here, says Jake. Well, Yes, that does seem accurate. I will take that, please. Okay, got that. Hello. Artandalus. Oh, it's so weird letting the plot play. This is full of goodies. I want to blow up the plot for goodies. But if I show you that, then you won't see the plot. I worked really hard on making those dialogue bubbles. Actually, I had a tool to help me make the dialogue bubbles, but I still had to spend a lot of time making dialogue bubbles and putting them into the game. I did a lot of the waves for this level, so a lot of the enemy spawns. I did not make most of the level map. That was made by somebody else, but... This level went through a lot of iterations in development. We couldn't really... Or we weren't really satisfied with the design. You can dash over gaps in the road, by the way, using the dash action. Oh, hey, I'm not dead. She bet us $50. She gives us $50. They're points. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so this level went through a lot of iterations during development. Whoa, that was close. I'm overall pretty happy with this level, but it's probably a bit harder than it should have been. It's really, really hard to judge difficulty as the developer because you're just so familiar with your own product that it becomes kind of impossible to determine how difficult it actually is because you know what you're doing. So first time experience, like, there's no shame, like, there's no downside to turning on a bunch of the things to make the game easier, like double health and stuff like that. Or double shields is what we call it. You can absolutely turn that stuff on and unlock all of the stuff you can, for the most part, without it. There's one achievement for, like, having a negative alternate reality, as we call them. Well, I mean, I'm just going to use hit stun now to get over the gaps in the road. We got more plot. But other than that, like, you can turn on whatever you want, as long as you're not going for the achievements that require it to be negative reality. So. This is Cardinal Flight. You should shoot them right now while they're flying information across the screen. This is an unoptimal weapon for this fight. I mean, it's fine. But I'd rather have the double machine gun, I think. So these guys each have a different type of missile, and then they kind of mimic the behavior of that missile. As you start destroying them, they start appearing more and more on the screen. Oh, I got a shotgun. Points, please. You can see that my thing right here is currently blue because I cannot accumulate more to that by picking up points when my health is not full. So here's green and yellow in Leader Squad. You're generally safe during some of that cloud burst. So you really kind of want to take these guys down evenly? I don't remember what's optimal. We try to do stuff to incentivize different behaviors with them. I not have... Okay, give me the phase. Thank you. So it's like, it restores you by all of your phase, by 100% phase, and gives you 10% max phase, sort of thing. It's actually probably optimal to try to weaken these guys simultaneously. I don't remember. Oh, I'll collect the barrier gun, though. Barrier gun is Green's boss weapon. Oh, got yellow. I think you have to be at like full health to have a 100% chance of them dropping their weapon. Otherwise, there's a partial chance. Yes. One of the things is, so if you resize the game window, which I'm in full screen right now, but if you resize the window, it just kind of keeps the play area square. And I remember going through the process of making it square. It's not actually very hard, but we had to look it up. So I just remember that particular process. There's definitely... I wish we had some diagonal road tiles rather than some of these abrupt edges, but oh well. Give me the points. Are we getting up to the... Where are we in this level? Okay, I think... Oh, we're in this section. Where am I? Okay, I was accidentally off the level because I wasn't paying enough attention to myself, and now I lost all of my extra points. It's not what I wanted. You might have noticed he started blowing up the road. Jake's like, oh no, and slows down. Oh, and I am out of ammo, which is not great. And then he has a bunch of one-liners he flings at us. I will collect that, thank you. If you shoot him enough, he flies off and comes back down another way. Yes, that's what I wanted. Gatling gun is his gun. Snap into a minigun is a reference to Slim Jims, obviously. I will summon a bombing run on you, thanks. Oh yeah, okay, so this part apparently is difficult, more so than was intended, perhaps, or the part that we're coming up to. I want to keep this gun, thanks. You have to destroy 100 enemies. I mean, that's all there is to it, right? Oh, and not die in the process, preferably. And have to start back over. This is a great spot if you have enough health to get Ultra Charge. The super summons more planes the longer you wait to fire it, as an aside. Getting low health. Want my lives for the next level. Bart apparently hasn't had this much fun in ages. Man, making the windshield on the truck, because this is a reskin basically of the red truck. Making that windshield was an interesting process because I had to think through what it would look like to see through it. Here we're making sure you know what you're supposed to blow up, because it isn't necessarily immediately obvious. Okay, that worked. Spent a lot of time in phase here. You need to blow up this thing in the middle. Yeah, this game gets kind of chaotic. Stop being there. Yeah, I'll take those. Powers. One of the things I did that's really cool, this is the last stage of this fight, is that power-ups lower on the screen take longer to start dropping than power-ups higher on the screen. So if you shoot this gun a little bit more slowly, it drops these proximity mines, which deal a lot more damage than the Gatling gun shot. Where is he? He's over there. So these are what we call correction missiles. They fly out a little ways. Up. Well, I beat the level, but I died right at the end. So the correction missiles go out a little ways, and then they home it, and then they angle at you and fly straight. Yeah. Okay. Time to get to level 3. This level's really cool visually, in my opinion. Level 3. The satellite blockade. So it is at this point that... So we grab that image from NASA. There's a lot of mines on this road. It's a good idea to not drive into them. If you have a better gun, you can clear them out pretty easily. What's that? Well, that is a bunch of satellites. Satellite blockade, remember? Name of the level. Yes, laser, please. Thank you. So a lot of the standard default guns are balanced to have infinite ammo. But you can give yourself the laser rifle as your default weapon. And it is not balanced, per se, to have infinite ammo, so it is very good. I will pick up another laser rifle, thank you. I am running out of ammo. So, if you thought the previous level was hard, this one's probably going to just, like, destroy you. Hello, Blue. Okay, that was a poor timing. Oh, sometimes when you blow up dialogue bubbles, you get, By the way, weapon pickups have a shorter range, so if you want to keep your weapon, you can collect points without collecting them. But anyway, I love this space background. It looks really good. Same person who did the road tiles did the space background, and also the clouds in the previous level. But this level gets very, very difficult, so... But yeah, sometimes... Oh man, some of these events had serious sync issues. But yeah, I drew that bike and the Moon Man riding it. So this is your introduction to fighting the Moon Man. This is actually a preview of the final boss fight from later. Also, these homing missiles have a lot of durability and last for quite a long time. I believe they slowly lose health as they move. You can... so he says, I don't really have time for this. And here we have the Hubble Attack Telescope. Or HAT. So there's a section in this level that we will be getting to later that was immensely difficult because none of the enemies had drop tables. We fixed that. It might actually be this section, now that I think about it. I noticed my shielding is low. I don't need points, I need health pickups. But yeah, pickups start falling more rapidly, or earlier if they're higher up. Thanks. I was not paying attention to my ammo. Oh, good. Okay, that was the wrong way to fire that thing. Obviously, this section gets a little loud. Okay. Pick those up. I will take the full health, yes. Thank you. Ooh, and some overcharge. Oh, this section. I have the right weapon for this section. I also drew the explosion, incidentally. Okay. Yeah, that's not surprising. That section can be kind of difficult if you don't have enough phase coming into it and whatnot. Or, you know, just you aren't using one of the characters that literally flies. There's 2? Picked up on that. So as you can see, this level, this is the longest I think I've ever seen these things live. That had so many scripting issues. But as you can see, this level is a good bit more difficult than the previous one. Oh hey, I'm still alive. Of course, I've got $200 to collect. Wee points. The rogue defense satellite. Oh, I love that space background. So this begins sort of the why are there so many satellites gauntlets. This spot is really sweet if you get overcharge on it. Blow up some of the turrets on this to reduce its offensive capabilities. Yes, I want that health. I should be phase dashing more. Is this the dragonfly? I don't think this was called the dragonfly. There was a bunch of these. We had a really troubled issue with artists, but that was in part because we had very small, I guess it's accurate to say very small budget in making this. We actually built the game engine from scratch. Oh, here comes the Hubble Attack Telescope. A lot of the graphics were made by me and one of the designers, the head designer, and we used paint.net for that, actually. We didn't do all of it, but... So if some of this looks like programmer art, it's because it is programmer art. Some of it looks better than you'd expect programmer art to look, and it is programmer art, but... I don't need giant lasers on me. Unfortunately, something that becomes very difficult is that people expect a certain high-end quality to their graphics, which is not unreasonable. But if you're not able to meet that for whatever reason, it really can create a lot of issues with trying to actually sell a game, so... Everyone trying to sell a game, make sure it looks pretty. Unfortunately, that's super important. This guy does more with his attacks, I think, as you blow up his various arms. Probably one of the biggest visual problems this game has, actually, is that... Yes, we know you want dibs orange. Is that it doesn't have the most coherent visual style. And I think if we had a more coherent visual style, that would have helped. Oh, right, this gun is weird. This is the weirdest gun in the game, probably. Like, you spawn these satellites that aim in the same direction you do. You can just make a couple of these, or you can just summon satellites to go the other way, with this laser to come up from the bottom. There's another one too, which is, I forget what it does. It's apparently less impressive. But yeah, so much harder level. Hey, I got the Orbital Striker achievement. You see that pop up in the lower right corner, because for some reason Steam moved them from the upper right corner to the lower right corner. That's for using this gun. Well, I don't have it anymore, but I believe it unlocks it for some other use. I forget what all the achievements unlock off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've looked at it. It might have unlocked it for the default weapon. I'm not sure. The reality alternator concept was actually inspired by a combination of the idols from Bastion and the cheat codes from GoldenEye, by the way. Yeah, I will take a double machine gun. If you wait longer to fire the double machine gun, you get 3 of these things that fly around and attack stuff. So, that's helpful. This section can be pretty nasty, though. There's just a lot of attacks going off at once. Ah, yes. Triplets not being set properly. We'll take the points. Let's see. Oh, right, this section. Okay. So one of the things that's really peculiar about this game is if you're at a certain threshold, health power-ups don't do anything and you want points power-ups instead. And I'm currently at that threshold. Well, not anymore. Hello, Blue. Well, time to fight. So Leader Blue mostly chills off screen and makes these bullet patterns that you really want to stay out of the way of, and he places this shield on Orange, and Orange will fire a bunch of stuff at you. I put together the design for this particular boss fight, so actually I did a lot. I did most of Leader Squad. For their individual, like, boss fights like this. Definitely important I pick that up before the end of the level, so I can go into this next level with the boss gun. And this is going to bring us to level 4. Unfortunately, level 4 is anemic. I probably will accidentally kill the dialogue here. It was made by a different designer and does not have the moments of invulnerability that the rest of the dialogue has. This is Leader Purple. Jacob is a little bit self-assured. Oh, this one has diagonal pieces. I don't know what gives. Yeah, we beat him before, so he's not enthused about being beaten again. And I fell off the road. Great. Twice, apparently. Interestingly enough, for the road, the way that it works is there's hitboxes off the road. And one of the things that I did was, for the level editor, I actually made a calculation that would calculate out where the hitboxes should be, because the road itself is tile-based, as you may have picked up on. It doesn't have to be. But I just remember that the test case was like the worst aligned road in the history of ever. It was so bad. It made a fantastic test case. This shield doesn't actually, by the way, make you invulnerable. It just absorbs bullets and stuff. So there's some bullets that can't be destroyed. that it doesn't do anything to. But yeah, so we had to calculate physics for the road button, and it was sweet because that's what it did. It calculated physics for the road, and I did not phase over fast enough. You can't actually directly... So, there's a directional dash on the space bar, but there's also a left and right dash on Q and E. Let's see. I want to take this guy out. Okay. That was a lot of points there. You don't have to take the leader squads out, the leader squad members out before the end of their section, but... and that was my last shot. Blue does not want me to pass. I would very much so like to pass, and I'd very much so like to have ammo for a gun that does anything. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we get to this gauntlet section, Gauntlet section, where you need to destroy a certain number of leader squad themed dudes. It's like these bikes with laser swords themed after yellow. I forget what the significance of the helicopters was. There's the leader red mini tanks, the blue planes, and the green... Man, some of the drops in this... Yeah, the green semis. I know shielding is low. Thank you for telling me. I forget who recorded those lines. They have a lot of post-processing on them, is what I'm saying. Well, I want the health, so... I would also like some ammo. But I think we've actually been... I'm not finished with you. Leader Purple blows up that text box if you don't get to it in time. Finished preparations, I've got this. So now, I did not do any of the leader squad in this level. You can fight a Leader Purple that I designed in the bonus level. That I will not be playing today. If you want to see it, you can play it yourself. Because, of course, I want you to buy the game I made. Okay, this is going poorly. Yeah, okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. We're apparently being told we're good, but not good enough. I wanted to potentially get a drop from that. Here's the Lederhosen. Because we could not avoid this pun. It was too good. Ow. The ammo refill doesn't do me any good if I don't have a gun. Refill ammo too. These missiles aggressively drop ammo power-ups. They do not aggressively drop weapon power-ups. Okay, there we go. This boss can be very easy or very hard, depending upon what you come into it with. If you come into this with a real gun, it's not that bad. If you do not come into it with a real gun, it is difficult. Okay. This is a giant Franken-tank. Great. Hopefully I can get through this without... Not blowing up the dialogue bubbles actually is kind of a massive hindrance, because it really denies you a lot of power-ups. They're very useful, as you might guess. Get out of here, missile. I drew the missiles. I was really proud of the missiles. Over on this side, please. I like how you become less transparent as you phase in. Or as your phase runs out. There's a lot of little subtle touches like that. Good. Got rid of that phase. Now we have the chromatic shuttle mode. Oh, by the way, here's the moon. Also from NASA. Probably could have used better editing to get rid of the background, but here we are. Oh, almost just jumped off the road there. There's some serious issues with some of the sync on some parts of this fight. Some of its attacks. I will take those points, please. How did we track... Oh, okay. I think I almost have another extra life from points. Okay, let's get ourselves to the moon. That took a lot longer than it normally does for me. Normally that takes me closer to like 2 minutes. So apparently when you're not coming in here super like blowing up all of the dialogue bubbles, it's a lot harder. Plus I'm probably out of practice. Alright, click to begin. Hey, I need health. I'm very close to dead. Here's my 500. Okay, so here we are on the moon. Apparently we've discovered we had diagonal pieces. These are Moonman themed wheelers. This is the level, by the way, there's an achievement for like killing a bajillion enemies, and this is the level where you get probably like a full half your kills. It's just waterfalls of enemies. Yeah, I just got enough points for another level. This is another level where overcharge is super strong. If you have enough health to get it. I want that laser. And I am just not playing as optimally as I used to do. I have not played this game in a while, so... By the way, if you don't like the having to stay on the road mechanic, if you fall off the road enough, you can unlock the reality alternator option to turn that off. Hey, it's this moon buggy. We call this the moon buggy. I don't know why it has Angry Alex icons on it. No, I don't want to be hit by your projectiles. One of the issues we have with this game is we don't have enough projectile clarity. Because you use the same projectiles that the enemy does, it makes it unclear which things are your projectiles and which things are the enemies, unless you're experienced enough at the game. Which is definitely a problem. I have... Oh. Save. Well, there just went another life. One of the other things is you can get extra lives from killing dialogue bubbles. Like, if you're having difficulty with this game, stop reading the plot and just collect power-ups from dialogue bubbles. I see you over there. But I need points now. Actually, I want to keep this double machine gun, thanks. Good. Points, 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 points. Points, like, it's just amazing how much of a difference there is between has enough points for overcharge and does not, because turning all of the points into health power-ups is just ludicrously powerful. And I don't think we balanced the game enough around that fact. There is a mode that you can turn on where you do not have to be at full health to be able to get healing from collecting enough points, by the way. I forget what it's called. It might be the Merciful Ultra Charge thing. I don't know. We had some keeping the nomenclature correct for the different modes a bit difficult because Overcharge and Ultra Charge are two different things with very similar names, which was perhaps not the wisest decision we made. Okay, something's bugging out here because I am 2 moon buggies. I don't even know how this happened. Discovering it live, folks. Bugs. Well, it's live for me. That guy runs off. You do not have to get that text bubble for the achievement to destroy text bubbles. As an aside. I'm pretty sure that one was exempt because it was ridiculous. Double machine gun's good for... Oh. No, not that. Grenade is the worst weapon of the weapons you can get against the Moon Man. I did this boss fight. I'm probably gonna get wrecked by it, to be honest. No, you don't. You can cancel out his super laser by going down below him. He's like, no, I see what you're doing. Also, he phases whenever you use your Ultra. So, or he doesn't always. There's certain modes like right there where he won't. But he's got a lot of smarts in his AI, is what I'm saying. I don't want to be hit by your friggin' landmines, thanks. At least he hasn't... Oh wait, no, that's not until the next phase, isn't it? Yay! This guy explodes in power-ups. Okay, now we have to deal with the flying Moon Man. Where he has this ridiculous gun that drops these things that make projectiles everywhere. You need to clean up these sort of discs because they are what makes the screen a cluttered mess where you can't do anything. I also designed this road, by the way. If people have any questions about the design of this game, feel free to ask. The engine itself is written in C++. I made a number of C# tools for it. I wrote most of the engine code, but not all of it. I did not write, for example, the initial graphics engine. I just modified it some as things came up. I did write a lot of the shaders that we used for things like phasing, for example. So we have a phasing shader that and whatnot. I would like to focus on the Moon Man, please. Not the friggin' bike. So there's a different ending depending upon whether or not you blow up the bike, which is why I would like to not blow up the bike. But that is wrecking me a little bit. It's much easier to blow up the bike in this configuration, apparently. Every so often, the Moon Man will drop stuff. I should stop trying to use ultra shots. That makes them faster. Okay, you know what? Which one is the one? Okay, no. It is easier to not blow up the bike. That's it. He's controlling the bike right now, kind of wirelessly, or however you want to think of it. Yeah, the Moon Man just drops power-up sometimes, because otherwise this fight would be ridiculous. Yes, I will take the grenade launcher. There we go. Hooray! Victory is mine. Not bad, not bad at all. And my grand? How could I forget? Here's a bonus for keeping that bike in one piece. Hooray! Her catchphrase, don't die. What did I get? 1,000,000 some odd points. Here comes the credits. This sequence was added a bit later in the game, actually. I think it might have been in an update that we had some of this or something. I don't remember. I'm not in the programming team because I was in a different thing earlier, I think. But lots of people helped out with the creation of this. So I'm thankful for that. So, yep, there's me, Benjamin Vandergrift. And like I said, I was towards the start as well, so. These animations with which way Jacob's looking and stuff are really hard to get put together. I'm really pleased with how they came together. And that is Highway to the Moon. That's the last level. So you get our lovely score screen, or maybe chaotic score screen, I don't know. Depends upon how you want to view it. So got a decent number of points. A typical time when you're doing things well is closer to 40 minutes, 42. I think you need like 5,000 kills for the bonus, but that's really hard to do. I didn't have any game overs, which is good. And here's just the standard credit screen, so you can see the core team. Me right there again. So, anyway, that is Highway to the Moon by Vernacular Games. And, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a close here. There is a level select where there's the Rainbow Rush bonus level. And, yep, I unlocked the satellite remote as a default weapon. Cool. Oh, man, yeah, I remember getting this to work where you could click on them. That was a patch. That was a late patch. It was not in the release. In the release, it was using this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead... Oh, yeah, Reality Alternator. So, yeah, some of these options. And just need to do more achievements to unlock more. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. And until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.